We have got to stop with this idea that if you stop the grind, you'll fall behind. That's not true. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of Monday Morning Moments with Mark. This week we're going to be talking about the grind. I've previously done a show on this before, quite some time back, called Take a Pause for the Cause, and I'm not going to get into the level of detail that I did in that about the metaphorical grist mill and the grind and all that, but I want to look at a different aspect of that. First of all, I want to say thanks to my friend Laura for her post on Facebook this week that as I was reading it, kind of triggered some thoughts in my brain and then got me to thinking about my metaphor of the grist mill and the grind. And that there's two elements that are really important to making the grind not be something that wears you down, but is actually an enjoyable process for you. And I'll get into that in a minute. But first, we have to have the funniest thing. So the funniest thing that happened this week is nothing funny happened. I don't know if I was just too much in the zone, but I make a habit of laughing till my face hurts at least once a week. And I can't tell you of a time this week that happened. And I don't know if funny didn't find me or I didn't find funny or I just wasn't, like I said, in tune with what was going on. But I'm going to keep my eyes peeled for going forward this week because I have a feeling that something that's twice as funny is going to happen to make up for me not laughing till my face hurt last week. So, um, moving forward into the talking about the grind. So what Laura posted was a bit of a rant about how the societal aspect, the concept of the grind, whether it's your 9 to 5 or school or family or all of it all rolled together, and how it just wears you down, and just like, why do we even allow it to be like that? That's the question that got me thinking. Why do we allow it to be like that? So when I talk about the grind, I always like to refer to the gristmill as I mentioned. And just real quickly, so we have the river of life flowing by. It's never going to stop flowing. The physical elements of our life, the wheel, the gears, the stones that make our product that we output, which is the grist of our life, the product output we give to the world. And then we have the hopper, which is kind of like our brain. And then grain is sort of what I want to focus on today. Grain is all of the things that we purposefully choose to bring into our hopper that create the output of our life. So what kind of got me going about the post is I'm thinking, you can choose what grain you allow to come into your hopper. You are the filter for that. You choose that, which means you choose what kind of product you're going to output to the world. So that's a conscious choice that we each and all have to make. And sometimes you think things are good and you go get this good grain and you bring it in, it turns out to be a bunch of garbage, and then you can't figure out why you're not being as productive or you're not happy with the output that is your life at the moment. And you got to get some different grain. That's fine, right? Occasionally the mill needs some maintenance, and we have got to stop with this idea that if you stop the grind, you'll fall behind. That's not true. Okay? It is unsafe to work on any parts of the mill of your life while it is still grinding. That's not safe. You end up losing an arm or something, man. Get it caught in the stone, and it's gone. Can't do that. So, what do we do in order to be able to review that? And something I had never thought about before. In the previous video, I just tell everybody, hey, just drop the sluice gate so you can go in here and work on the mill. But the part that I never really considered before is, yeah, you can go in and look at the mechanics of what's going on in your life and the moving physical parts and what needs maintenance and what needs repair and all of that. But a lot of times, and I never thought about this, we don't take time to look at the grain that we're putting in there in the first place. Maybe the mill is not the problem. Maybe what you're putting into it is the problem. So when we drop the sluice gate on life, and that is a necessary thing to do, drop the sluice gate, take an operational pause in your life to take a purposeful reflection, because if it's not purposeful, you're just being lazy. Take a purposeful reflection and make sure that you include not just the moving parts, but what are you feeding the moving parts to make the grist, right? That is the output of our life. So I encourage all of you to take some time to drop the sluice gate this week and just do a little maintenance on the old mill, and also take a minute to see what kind of grain you're allowing to be poured into your hopper and make sure it's of the finest quality so that your grist to the world is also of the finest quality. Have a great week.